to say it's an absolute pleasure to welcome Pauline Black, Gaps Ending Songs to the bass sessions. Thanks for taking the time to meet us here at the Two Tone Central this evening. And you've been back together now. You came back together for the 30th anniversary of the first album, didn't you? Too Much Pressure. And you've done a few fairly high-profile gigs with that album. And how does the band feel now? Does it feel, because it feels kind of refreshed and revitalised? Is it the same for you guys?
Oh, absolutely. I think, I mean, as soon as we got sort of, like singing together again and being on stage and stuff. We did 2 gigs. We did one in Belgium at the Sinners' Day Festival, and then we did...
I've seen some footage from that. It was a wild show.
It was actually an excellent show. And we did another one at Bloomsbury Ballroom in London. And it was, it was just like slipping back into an old nice country slipper, wasn't it?
That's right. And then, of course, we were on to the album, which came out September last year, Made in Britain, which we... the beautiful vinyl copy here. I mean, it's a great album. It's got social and political commentary on it. It's got a great ska feel to it. It's a dance album. I mean, it must feel great for you guys. Was it a great process doing it? Are you happy with it?
It was a leap of faith, really, because it's quite difficult. It's not like we haven't put out albums. We put out albums during the 90s, didn't we? When we were together and with a version of the Selector then. But it was a bit of a leap of faith this time, because very much I feel that sort of, the two-tone bands that were around are now kind of classified as heritage bands, and you're only supposed to play kind of, your first 2 albums or something like that. So to actually want to do something new for us was, it was quite scary in a way, because you don't know how it's going to be received. No. You don't know whether an audience is going to stand there and kind of think, I'll get through 3 songs of this and then I'll get on my radio and Too Much Pressure and I'll feel that much better about, the whole thing. Yeah. So we thought, we'll go ahead, we'll do it, and I mean, it was really good, wasn't it? The whole writing process, everything.
Everything was done in the studio.
I think Mojo actually said that it sits alongside Too Much Pressure. It could be the next album.
That was the icing on the cake when they said that, because it's it's very difficult for any band, I think, that has had the longevity that we've had to get reviewed by any of the music papers, and for them to have come out and sort of said that without being paid was really, really excellent. And it's amazing how kind of prescient in some ways the album is, without us even thinking about it. Back to Black, poor Amy Winehouse, shoveled off this mortal coil on the same day as we took delivery of the vinyl single for that, which was a real... And then we had the Big in the Body, Small in the Mind. Like the day before that, that guy whacked all those people in Norway. And then we're talking about multiculturalism and all these things, and by September rolls around and then there's riots, So it was, we felt as though we were on the right track, didn't we?
Yes. Another thing I really like about it, but from a personal point of view, is the fact that you've used John Teflon Sims on it as well, who I know worked with you guys back in the day with Chrysalis, and did a lot of bands over in Chrysalis. And it's got that kind of feel to it, hasn't it? As you said, you've got the handwritten lyrics. I mean, it's beautiful, and I'm stealing this copy after it's been signed. But, was it great to work with him? Because you said he's done a lot of your merchandise as well. So it's a nice kind of
John's
connection.
always been good to work with, hasn't he?
I find that he comes up with probably original ideas, because he's been there. As I say, he's been there from the start.
Yeah, it's a nice kind of continuity. Really.
That's right. Yeah.
And also, he introduced us to the artwork. If you look at this kind of artwork, because we put it out to him. I mean, this was the original idea for this was for Big in the Body, Small in the Mind, and what racism means today, or any of those things. And we wanted an abstract design for it. And there's a guy called, I think it's Einar Einarsson. Who, I don't know.
I see where Gaps let you say that.
I think he's Norwegian. But anyway, he's from one of the Scandinavian countries. He's quite a young artist. But he does stuff with like sort of drips on it, and it's always in black and white when you put that up like that. And he took that idea and ran with the whole thing and came up with what I think is a really original, really distinctive design, because it really kind of hits you, and it says everything that it should be saying. For my money, we wanted to put out a whole package, and that's what we think now here in 2011, 2012.
Fantastic. And to bring it right up to date, I mean, Made in Britain album and Made in Britain tour starting the Reading Sub-89 Club on the 1st of March.
That's right, yeah.
Going right the way through to Cambridge 6th of April. And you're going to be in the Midlands, because we are Midland based, obviously. Leamington Spa on the 8th at the Assembly, which is a great venue, isn't it? 15th at the Guildhall in Gloucester. And of course then we've got the Bilston Robin on the 30th. I like the way that you've obviously planned it for us Midlanders, so we can go to a gig a week if we feel like it. We don't have to tire ourselves out too much. So we do appreciate that. It would be rude if people didn't kind of come to everyone, I think. But,
well, that indeed, yeah. We have to pop off to Scotland in the middle of all that while you're all having a kit.
But I mean, the Bilston Robin, I mean, that's have you been there before? It's almost a hometown gig. But,
yes, yeah. We played that with 3 Men in Black.
Oh, I've been to that.
Yeah. With Jake and JJ, I think, was there at that particular one. Yeah.
I think Steve Diggle was meant to be falling off a motorbike or something.
Steve Diggle, yeah, he'd broken his wrist. So he wasn't there. Did you?
Why am I asking you if you were there? I was at the gig. And then, of course, you're off to Europe in the summer.
Yes, we've got a lot of festivals lined up, and we're in Spain, in 5 shows in Spain in May, and
and then back to Britain again.
And then back to and Holland at the beginning of May. So May's pretty much taken up with Europe. And then there's summer festivals coming in now as well, both here and in Europe. I think we're even going to Poland.
Oh, you really?
Yes.
I was Polish.
You really?
Yes, from Krakow, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get paid in zlotys.
If it's Krakow and I'm there, I'll show you some good places to spend it.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, we're here primarily to talk about Selector, but we can't finish without talking about Black by Design, because honestly, I mean, you just asked me if I read this. It was an inspirational read, and I'm not saying that because you're sat there. It's a fantastic book. It's my friend's book, and there you go, signed to him. Kisses are there, Dennis, don't worry. From Pauline.
And Gabs.
But fantastic. I mean, you say that it's coming out in America
in July, and I'm writing another chapter to round the whole thing off, sort of, talking about the experience that we've had over the past year and how the album got written, because there's a whole story all behind this as well, and stuff, and and about how we've put the band back together and what the Selector means in 2012.
I think it's honestly, it seems to be a great time for you. You guys fronting it. You've got a great album out. You've got a book out. Just it feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it feels very relaxed, and it doesn't. We don't feel under any pressure. We don't have the kind of pressure that the specials have, or anything like that. We can kind of muddle along and we're enjoying it. And we needed to enjoy it, because I think you get to a certain age, and if you're not enjoying it, there's no real point doing it, is there?
So it's nice to be back.
Yeah.
Great to be back.
Excellent. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us on the day sessions. I mean, I'm going to catch up with you on this tour, and I suggest everybody else does the same.
A pleasure.